Good morning, friends. My name is Sushant Ujmani and I am the founder and CEO of 3 Touchpoints, a full-service web analytics consulting firm based out of Pennsylvania, USA. First of all, I would like to welcome you all in our first and exclusive series on optimizing your e-commerce business using your in-house web analytics solution. In this series, we're going to discuss on some of the interesting questions and business problems I encountered in the last 10 years being a part of retail and e-commerce industry. During these years, I got an opportunity to work with some of the leading brands and retailers in the North America market, such as Burberry, Calvin Klein, Levi's, Dockers, Sports Authority, PetSmart, Toys R Us, etc. Working with these brands and retailers was a great learning experience, and it not only evangelized me in the area of retailing and e-commerce, but it also gave me an opportunity to work on some of the exciting business problems which required tremendous amount of analytical skills and resulted in some deep dive insight into shoppers' behavior. So before we delay it further, let's continue our series with the third question of the week. That is, our senior management has already shortlisted certain projects for this year, which are higher in the priority list and needs to be launched before code freeze. Don't you find it pretty common? Don't you find it very familiar question? And the second part of this question is, what's the point of doing deep dive analysis when we cannot act on those recommendations from our web analyst? What should we do? This question was asked to me by a very dear friend of mine who works as an e-commerce director with a mid-size toys brand in the North America market with an annual revenue of less than $75 million. So my simple answer to this guy was, start calculating the ROI of each and every project that you recommend to your mid or senior management. Because that's the only way you can justify the importance and the value of your project. In North America, most of the online brands and retailers with annual revenue of greater than $25 million have already outsourced their e-commerce operations to a different platform providers in the industry such as Ecommerce, Demandware, Vendor, Amazon, MarketLive, etc. Every year, these brands and retailers set up their project portfolio in collaboration with their platform provider and also set apart a fixed budget that needs to be spent very efficiently and smartly by both parties. During this year, if your e-commerce team comes up with a list of recommendations which ultimately requires a project work, this may impact other projects in the pipeline. So before you approach your senior management with any kick-ass ideas to turn around the business, please make sure you work on the anticipated ROI against each and every recommendation. Here are certain tips I would like to share with my readers. First of all, prioritize the list of recommendations based on anticipated ROI. Second, share and validate the top 3 recommendations with the rest of the team members, including your architect, your technical lead from your platform provider, and get their feedback. Third, once you get the consensus from the key stakeholders, ask the architects and technical leads to provide the high-level estimates. Now, once you have these estimates, now calculate your anticipated ROI based on the estimated cost and any existing benchmark data available via in-house analytical and transactional reporting system. While calculating your ROI, focus on the number of months it will take to break even, because higher the number of months, lowers the probability of getting it shortlisted for this year. If your recommendation generates anticipated ROI within 3 to 6 months, then that would be great. Note, give yourself at least 8 to 10 weeks to see statistical significant results. Now, create and present your business case with anticipated ROI numbers to the senior management. And do not forget to include the impact of this ROI on the quarterly and yearly goals, because that's what you're responsible for, that's what you get paid. Note, if possible, do a ROI comparison between shortlisted projects and your recommended projects to strengthen your case. If your project requires immediate action, then justify that with an example. Next point, before you launch the project, please make sure appropriate tracking pixel has been placed so that you could track the performance and take proactive actions. If all the 3 recommendations are dependent on each other, then do not launch them together. Maintain at least 4 to 6 weeks of gap between consecutive launches. This would allow you to see the impact of each recommendation independently and give you some statistically relevant results. Last but not the least, do not rush to reach a conclusion. Sometimes you may experience significant results before the anticipated ROI window approaches. And this may happen due to seasonal promotions, significant content changes on the key landing pages of your website, or change in the product assortment, or maybe the result of any big viral campaign executed by your online marketing team. If you act on the above tips in a smart and calculated way, you would definitely experience great results on your website. And it would be very easy for you to convince your mid and senior management, irrespective of what portfolio has been set for the year, irrespective of whatever is the budget. You need to talk in terms of ROI. Without ROI, you cannot convince, and it's a wastage of your time, it's a wastage of their time. So with this, we conclude this post. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put on my blog, and I would be more than happy to respond. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for listening. Take care.